I think my first part of the stigma associated with the last year of my drinking. I realized how much of a tolerance that I had. If I woke up in the morning, I'd have to have a drink of vodka to start my day. Anxiety would build up if I didn't get a drink, puke up like a phlegm, and I had so much anxiety about admitting to my coworkers, my family, and my friends that I couldn't go on a day without having a drink. And if I did, I progressively just got sicker and sicker without getting a drink. My body was just so adjusted to having alcohol. Since I was a bartender, I would teach wine class or class on other alcohols, and we would drink at that class so that then I would have an excuse to have alcohol in my breath for the rest of the day. I mean, my work environment was a drinking environment, so I was just able to drink my way through every shift, and then after a shift go out for drinks with the staff, and they would drink, and I might go home and have a couple more drinks before bed, and that was routine, daily drinking. And I couldn't actually go a day without drinking, just guilty, this kind of shameful feeling of they're going to criticize me. Everyone from my boss to my parents, how do I get through this without having a drink?
So you kind of felt pressured a little bit, do you think, from being in that job?
It was encouraged. The drinking at work led to weekends off of work where we party with friends, to holidays, to weddings, funerals. Everything became like a drinking event, blended together over the years until I wake up one morning and I can't not have a drink.
Right.
It was embarrassing to try and reach out for help.
Despite the embarrassment and stigma around alcohol abuse, what steps did you take to overcome drinking once you realized it was a problem for you?
Admitting that I was powerless against alcohol it's too embarrassing to admit to the doctor. Told me my blood work came back and said I was having liver problems and kidney problems, and that I needed to take the steps to stop drinking or control my drinking at that point. 24 hours after I went cold turkey, I was laying on the floor in my apartment and got on the phone, and I called one of my other managers that I had that meeting with, and I was like, you need to come get me. I need to go to the emergency room. They rushed me into ICU, to critical care unit. My liver was failing, my kidneys were failing. I tried to detox too quickly.
So what stopped you from going to a treatment center right away?
It was an internalized stigma that I felt, that I was too embarrassed and ashamed to ask for help, and thought I could do it on my own, and by the time I did, it was too late. It happened really fast. It's a slippery slope.
What would you have done differently, or what would you want other people to know?
That it's okay to ask for help. That, I had no reason to be embarrassed. I had no reason to have a stigma associated with it. My support was there. That all my friends, coworkers, the restaurant owners were more than appreciative and willing to help me get the help that I needed, and helped out my friends and family while I was in the hospital. You don't need to feel embarrassed about asking for help.
What was your diagnosis?
I had substance abuse disorder of alcohol, fibrosis in my liver, stage 4, kidney failure, kidney disease, also stage 4, fibrosis in my liver, neuropathy to my feet that I'm on medications for. I was pretty sick.
What was the treatment process for substance abuse disorder?
After I got out of the hospital, I was living in a nursing home because I was on dialysis 4 or 5 days a week. In addition to doing the dialysis, cognitive behavioral therapy, training our behaviors on how to react to the triggers, how to deal with those emotionally and mentally when you're into a social setting where it's presented again, coping mechanisms, ways of socializing and integrating that within your family and friends, letting others know and be aware of your problems.
So after going through the treatment process, what would you want people to know about taking their first steps in going about getting help?
Asking for help, AA, there's plenty of alcohol treatment centers. Any one of those will be happy to bring you in and get you started. For me, going back and being able to do something like this, or go back to AA meetings and tell my story. If I can get one person to make a change in their life, or to reach out for help, or to realize how dangerous it can be, then it's worth the what embarrassment I might have.